Welcome back on the SpaceInfo podcast. Last time we left with an open discussion that was about asteroid mining. So today we keep on discussing about this, clarifying some open points, advantages, disadvantages, and current state of the art of the technology. Maybe you heard about asteroid mining because a lot of people outside of the space field are talking about this topic because they say that the next trillionaire on Earth will be the person that will be able to bring the resources on the asteroid back to Earth. Well, today we'll see this is feasible or just a dream. We start talking about the advantages, then we see the disadvantages, and then we see the state of the art of the current technology. But before starting, I'd like to thank you for being here listening to this episode. If still you don't know what we do, SpaceInfo is a community of space enthusiasts, today counting more than 130,000 followers across different platforms. You can find more information on our account, particularly on Instagram and LinkedIn, and also on our website www.spaceinfo.club. You will be able to access exclusive content completely for free. You just need to sign up and become a member, but as said, it's free. Then if you're interested in more in-depth content like our courses, you can find an introductory courses on rocketry on our website. Now come back to today's topic. Let's start for the first advantage of asteroid mining. Asteroids are said to be abundant in resources. Well, asteroids are remnants for the early solar system, so they are thought to be rich in valuable resources such as metals, water, and rare minerals. The vast abundance of these materials presents an opportunity to address resource scarcity on Earth, particularly these days, and support future space exploration. Pay attention to the last thing we said, future space exploration. Another advantage is the economic potential of the thing. Well, the economic potential of asteroid mining is immense. Asteroids are thought to contain trillions of dollars worth of precious metals, including platinum, gold, and rare earth elements. So the successful extraction and transportation of these resources to Earth could revolutionize their industries and stimulate economic growth here on Earth. Another thing is space colonization support. As I said for the first point, keep attention to this thing. While harnessing resources from asteroids could play a crucial role in supporting future space exploration, water, which could be extracted from certain asteroids, can be useful for life support and fuel production, reducing the need for continuous resupply mission from Earth. And another advantage is the reduced environmental impact. Well, because extracting resources from asteroids could contribute to reducing the environmental impact associated with traditional mining here on our planet. Well, some could say that we are just shifting the problem, but this is the topic for another discussion. By obtaining materials from space, the technological footprint of resource extraction on our home planet may be significantly diminished. But apart from this, let's now look at the concrete disadvantages and challenges of asteroid mining. First of all, technological hurdles. Well, asteroid mining poses significant technological challenges, including the development of advanced robotics, autonomous systems, and extraction methods suitable for the unique condition of space. Overcoming these hurdles requires substantial research and innovation. Well, that we today don't have, but we'll talk about this later in the latest chapter of this episode. On top of this, we have costly ventures. Well, the cost of launching a spacecraft, developing mining technology, and establishing an infrastructure in space is today exorbitant and impossible. Initial investment costs are today exorbitant and impossible to sustain today, particularly because of the risk of the venture, where private and public funding is impossible. Then we have legal and ethical issues. Well, because the legal framework surrounding asteroid mining remains ambiguous. The outer space strategy, of which we talked about with Alexandra Dolce Squire in an interview on our website, was signed by many spacefaring nations, prohibits national appropriation of celestial bodies, including asteroids. Developing an internationally agreed upon legal framework for asteroid mining is crucial to avoid potential conflicts. Well, the latest disadvantage is space debris and collision risk. Well, increased human activity in space, particularly around asteroids, raises concerns about space debris and collisional risk. Careful planning and coordination is essential to prevent accidental collisions and to manage the growing presence of human-made objects to Earth's orbit. But as promised, let's come to the latest chapter of this episode, future developments and state of the art. First of all, we have to talk about the advancement in space robotics. Because progress in space robotics is crucial for the success of asteroid mining mission. Autonomous robotic systems equipped with advanced sensors and tools are being developed to navigate the challenging conditions of space and efficiently extract resources from asteroids. Just think about the lunar lander SLIM of Japanese space agency, of which we talked about in the latest episode of this podcast. Well, the technology developed for landing a lander on the moon, if shared, is a crucial starting point for all the technology development to land other space robotics missions. Besides, we need to have innovation in propulsion system. Again, as we talked about in the latest episode, we talked about electrical propulsion system instead of chemical ones. Well, because improvements in propulsion systems are pivotal for reducing the cost and most of all travel times associated with asteroid mining missions. Research into advanced propulsion technologies such as ion drives and solar sails is ongoing to make space travel more efficient, most of all cost effective. And we have public-private partnership. As you're witnessing nowadays, more and more private companies are involved, such as SpaceX and Planetary Resources. This signifies a shift in the space exploration paradigm. By the way, if you want us to talk more into depth about privatization and how public agencies like NASA are changing their approach to privatization, let us know in the comments and we'll talk about this in the next episode of this podcast. Also in this case, public-private partnerships are playing a crucial fundamental role in advancing asteroid mining initiatives, because with companies investing in research and development to make these endeavors economically viable, the environment can only grow and money can only flow into the whole environment. On the same path, international collaboration is crucial because we need to address legal and ethical concerns requiring international collaboration. Ongoing discussion within the United Nations aim to establish guidelines and principles for responsible exploration and utilization of space resources. Now that we have come to an end, it's time for some considerations. I will do them on my personal side, and that's my point of view. So I encourage you in engaging the discussion, leaving us a comment, contacting us on our social platforms, and let us know what you think. In my point of view, resource utilization of asteroid is a very distant deed in the future. I don't think that 10, 20, 30 years from now we'll be able to use resources that lie under the surface of an asteroid. Barely have the technology to bring man back on the moon. So the robotic side, the autonomous side, quite complicated, but maybe is the most advanced thing we have today. What we need is for sure an effective propulsion technology that would allow man to get to an asteroid, come back from it with some resources. Maybe as an intermediate step, we'll be able to get resources from the surface of an asteroid and then use them in situ. This is probably the most interesting proposition and the fastest we can exploit from asteroids. If you think about the next human missions on the moon, well, this is the main focus of the next decade. Man living and working on the moon uses resources in situ to self-sustain themselves. This is a lesson we can learn from the moon and then use it on Mars and on asteroid. Probably this is the closest point in the future and the next thing we have to learn as humans. But that's all for today. We talked about asteroid mining. I hope that you enjoyed the discussion, and please don't hesitate in contacting SpaceInfo on our social platform and on our website, suggesting the next topic you'd like to hear about. Thank you for listening and see you next time.